My memory is like a goldfish memory, and that's not a good thing. Being delulu is the sululu for fall lululu. What? Anyways, it made more sense in my brain, but this is why I don't film at nighttime. But because it's the fall season, because we are September, my favorite month of the year. No, actually, is it October? Or is it November? No, it's September. I'm gonna shut up now. So this is my stack of books for September. So it's from up here, from the futon down. And then in the back, as you can see, there are books in the back. More books in the back. Spoiler alert, that's for my fall TBR. Listen, I'm very ambitious when it comes to the fall time. For the fall time, I'm literally deliriously ambitious. I believe that I'm gonna write 5 novels. I believe that I'm gonna read 50, 100 books. I believe that I'm gonna become famous and rich and wealthy. I'm gonna have clear skin. That I'm gonna lose like 45 kilos. But you know what? Dream bigger. Always dream bigger. Shoot for the stars and land on the moon? Is that the quote? Is that the saying? Who the hell knows? But let's get into it because it might be a long one, so I'm just gonna go quickly to the books that I want to read in September. I know this is filmed late, but I have a head start on these books, okay? Okay. First book we have is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, and this is like a vampire tale, but it's like also like a toxic relationship. So yeah, I just love that dichotomy between vampires and like toxicity and like abusive relationships. This is really good. I'm almost done with this. I'm just savoring this, honestly. I feel like I can sit down and read it in one sitting, but I just love it so much that I don't want it to end. And I'm definitely gonna read everything by S.T. Gibson because the writing is so poetic. Love it. Okay, vampire books, they are in this month and next month and the month after that. Okay, I don't care whatever anyone says. It's the rule. It's the rule. It's the rule of fall. Okay. Another book that I'm enjoying that's a vampire book is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Why did no one tell me this was so good? I just love classics that have like letter writing and like you don't know what's going on and there's like many people involved and you don't know where it's going. And I also really want to watch the movie adaptation with Winona Ryder, the Bram Stoker adaptation of Dracula. So can't wait for that. I'm so happy that I picked this up finally. Then we got The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. This is like dark academia slash vampire slash like historical fiction, and it is good. However, it's so long and the font is so small and it's very like history based. It's like a slow paced book, so I keep renewing my audiobook for this one, and like now I can't renew it anymore because it's the fall season, so everyone wants to read this freaking book. So I really gotta read it in the next few days or else I'm gonna lose my loan for good this fall. So this is the motivation I needed. It's not that I don't enjoy it. I really do enjoy it and I do think it's gonna pick up, but look how far I am in. Not far at all. But yeah, The Historian. Then we also got The Southern's Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This is my first Grady Hendrix book and I am really enjoying this. I got to like page 130 in the summertime, but I was like, I'm gonna pick this up in fall time. So yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna be able to finish this with no issues, no problems. I also got my audiobook loan back renewed, and the wait list for this one is really long, so I'm just glad that I got it back right in time for fall, so I need to speed up with this one. This is another book that I could finish in one sitting, but I want to savor it and I want to film a vlog reading it. I always say that I'm going to film vlogs and I always forget. I'm very lazy and I want to put more effort into like reviewing books and talking about books, especially books that I really enjoy. So yeah, this one, the only reason why I'm not reading it is because I'm lazy to film a vlog. Like, can you believe that? That's so stupid. The funny thing is, I actually went to see R.F. Kuang live when she released this book, and it just feels like I'm just being dumb at this point. I'm just being dumb. So I need to finish this month. I am like 2 chapters in, and like again, it took me like no time to get to those chapters because it was so good. I just am procrastinating filming, so I really gotta get my Zoom on for that one. Wait, I just realized that I have not been talking about these books and what they mean. Let's go back. Okay, so this one, Yellow Face, is about, I think everyone knows what this one is about, so, but it's about a girl that is very jealous of her, I guess her friend, and I'm pretty sure they both went to an MFA, but her friend is this very successful rich person, and then she ends up dying in the first chapter. Like, this is not a spoiler. So her friend ends up dying, and she's like this literary success compared to the main character. And so the main character steals the manuscript, the last manuscript of her friend, that her deceased friend, and publishes it as her own, and she gets all that recognition. And this also comes into play with race and not only class, because she also pretends to be Asian because her friend was Asian, so she tries to, you know, milk that opportunity, which is so like beyond messed up. But then also there's another layer where it's criticism on the big publishing houses, and it's just like layer upon layer, and I just feel like it's gonna be such a fascinating book to read as a writer. And yeah, I just can't wait to finish reading this one. I don't know why I'm not giving the good descriptions, but yeah, I'm just tired. Nighttime. I shouldn't have done this in the nighttime. I guess this book was very self-explanatory. Literally, you don't need to know anything else about this one. And the historian is like this girl uncovering this research by her father and her father's professor on basically the origin of Dracula, and which was, you know, also rumored to be Vlad the Impaler in Turkey. Anyways, yeah, that's how far I've got into the novel. Then we got Romantic Outlaws, another book that I am like a quarter in. I am so obsessed with this book, and this is another book that I want to savor. I tried like reading it quickly at first because I was just too interested, but now I'm like, okay, some books you need to savor, you need to take your time with. So I'm gonna try to read like maybe a chapter a day. Maybe this bleeds into October. So it's basically The Extraordinary Lives of Mary Wollstonecraft and Mary Shelley by Charlotte Gordon, and it's just so good. It goes back and forth between Mary Wollstonecraft and her daughter Mary Shelley, which, for those of you who know about Mary Shelley's life, basically she never got to meet her mom because her mom passed away 10 days after giving birth, unfortunately. So she gets to discover her mom through her mother's writing, basically her status and what people have been saying about her, because Mary Wollstonecraft is like one of the first feminists and one of the first feminist critique out there with her book A Vindication of the Rights of Women. It's just so interesting and fascinating and really heartwarming to see how similar both Marys are and how they really fight to like have their place as a writer, as a thinker in patriarchy, in this like world where it's all man-made, and how like they suffer through poverty and abuse, child abuse, emotional abuse. And it's just like, I don't know why, but I relate so much to both of them, and I'm just so obsessed, and I just want to keep on reading. Then we have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I am not going to give a description for this one because I feel like everyone knows this book and have read this book. It's a classic. I'm like halfway through. I just noticed that. I stopped because I don't know, because I have ADHD, because I read 50 books at the same time and I have to stop that habit. That's why I need to finish this book, and it's the perfect time. But I did pick it up in the springtime, and I just knew that I wanted to finish it in the fall time, so I just rationalize it that way. So yeah, it basically does have some like gothic undertones. I don't know what it was about 1800s, but it's very clear to me that children have always been suffering, and like a lot of these writers, they take their own experiences into their writing, and I don't know, it's just fascinating. I think like we need to explore children and children in literature from, you know, before the beginning of time till now, because it's something that I really want to explore in my writing. I don't know why I'm digressing right now. I don't know what I'm saying right now. We're just gonna go to the next book. I got The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. I'm so sorry, okay? I'm really sorry. I've read 150 pages out of 400 pages. Why did I think this book was like 700 pages? Am I just like always thinking of Anna Karenina. I don't know. This one is really good. This is about the devil, and he comes haunt people in this one town. But I didn't get to that part where the title of the story makes sense yet. And honestly, I didn't pick this up in a very long time, and I guess that's why. I just remember like the devil making people go mad already so far, and there was this like crazy magic trick with a cat, and this cat is like also like mystical. I don't know, lots of magical realism, and I really can't wait to pick it back up and like get back into the story and immerse in it. I might have to go online and find a summary from the first few chapters just to refresh my memory, because my memory is like a goldfish memory, and that's not a good thing. Another book that I picked up is Foe by Ian Reid. I'm showing this, but I already read this. I read this last night in like one sitting. I can't wait to talk about this and gush about this, and I'll leave it for that. I'll leave it for whatever vlog that is coming up. But the movie adaptation is coming so soon with Saoirse Ronan and Paul Mescal, and those are my two favorite actors of all time. Like my top 50, I guess. I don't know. And I just can't wait. I think they're gonna do a phenomenal job. This was so good. I don't even want to tell you what it's about. Married couple, they get the opportunity to go to space, and I just don't want to say anything else, okay? It's not a space book, but it's like this two people, these ordinary people, and then like how an outside event can put that pressure into a marriage. Just so good. Ian Reid is masterful. He's so masterful in his writing, and I met him last year, and he's just amazing. He's like one of my top favorite authors of all time now, and I'm gonna read everything he ever publishes. Everything. Every single little thing. And I'm gonna try to read one book by him a year so that I can space it out and enjoy it. That's what I do with Sally Rooney. That's what I do with some of my other favorite authors. So yeah. Then I have this book that I've been wanting to read every year since I got this book, and I've had this book I think since my second year of university. God, that's been like 5 or 6 years, I don't know. And it's The Joy of Pain, or Schadenfreude and the Dark Side of Human Nature by Richard H. Smith. This is so good. I really am enjoying this. I'm not too sure if I heard of Schadenfreude before, or maybe just in passing, but it's basically what the title is. It's the joy of seeing someone else in pain and why we derive joy from that. So yeah, I just think it's very fitting for a few of the novels that I'm writing upcoming. So yeah, I just really wanted to read this. It's very short. I'm sure I'm gonna get through it this September. Okay, I'm gonna judge myself so hard for these next two, but I have Sleepwalking, yes, by Meg Wolitzer, and Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. I've started these two books last August, and I got like a quarter way through into both of these books. Now I have to restart them, because what the hell is the point of starting a book a quarter way through and then picking it back up? Like halfway through, I get it, okay? Halfway through and it's less than 6 months time that you read a book, fine. But if it's been a year and you only read a few chapters, that's like dumb energy, which I have. I possess that energy a lot, and I need to fix it. I need to remedy my bad tendencies, okay? So I really love Dark Academia. I actually have, I'm looking at it right now, a stack of 50 Dark Academia books. I am not kidding. When I say like I could inject this genre into me, I could inject it, okay? And there's more and more Dark Academia books coming up. I have like 3 of them in the works myself, and I want to publish them into the world. So I just want to keep consuming Dark Academia. I actually want to read a Dark Academia book every month, because it's just my genre. It's ooh, like the fact that this exists pleases me so much. I know there's a lot of critique for Dark Academia, and they're valid, and I really want to like, anyways, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to curse myself. I just gonna write and read Dark Academia books. So this one is a really old one by Meg Wolitzer, and it's like 3 girls that have like this super fascination with one of these dead poets. One likes Anne Sexton, the other one likes Sylvia Plath, and the third one likes this like poet that is invented. It's not a real poet. I guess we followed their story. I didn't get too far into it, but I think it's probably gonna be like having themes of like mental health and maybe suicide. I don't know. I really am interested though in reading this one. Then we have Catherine House. I remember Catherine House because part of the premise really resembles the book idea that I have, but that's okay because, you know, it's still my idea. It's still different and unique, so that's fine. But when I read this, the first few chapters, I was freaking out because I was like, really, truly, anytime you have a book idea, it's like someone else right now is working on it. Like, if that doesn't make you want to like sign off and like go work on your book, I don't know what does. But this is true. This is something that happens. Every like writer will tell you this, every author will tell you this happens all the time. So, but yeah, it's still different. Even if we like recreate stories and whatnot, like you still have your own spin on it. But anyway, so Catherine House, it's like this girl gets to go to Catherine House, and I guess you sign away your rights. I'm joking when I say that, but basically like you get to stay in that house, that university, whatever, for like 2 years or something, and you specialize in something and you can't get out of there. So basically you're trapped there. But then there's something weird going on. There's a few people that are acting really weird, culty in the school, and then maybe there's a secret society, who knows. But yeah, so far it's giving me all the dark academia feels, and I'm gonna have to restart this book because ridiculous. But I really do remember enjoying both books, so that's a good thing. So I really want to read the Atlas 6. Like, I've been holding on to this for like a year by Olivia Blake, and I have the original self-published copy before it got changed. So I really want to read the self-published copy, and maybe in 2 months time I'm gonna read the entire series, the, you know, traditionally published series, because I think the 3rd book comes out in January. So maybe like in December I'll read the 1st and 2nd book in hardcover, traditionally published, in anticipation for the 3rd book. But for now, I do want to read the self-published book because I'm just curious, as someone who wants to self-publish more and who also wishes to traditionally publish. It just fascinates me to read like the before product and see if there's differences and what people think about the before and after of a book that's self-published to traditionally published. So yeah, that's why I want to read this, especially this month before, you know, time passes again. And then this book just came out this month, and it's In These Hollowed Halls, and it's like a dark academia anthology. I can't believe these are existing now. I can't believe this is happening now. But we get a story by Olivia Blake, obviously, again, and ML Rio. I loved If We Were Villains so much. I'm just like waiting for ML Rio to drop another book because If We Were Villains was amazing. So yeah, and then we have Susie Yang, David Bell, and JT Ellison. So yeah, there's 5 stories in here, and it should be really good, and I really want to read this month. And another new release, and one of the most exciting new releases ever is Rouge by Mona Awad. I'm so obsessed with this cover. I'm obsessed with the end paper, and yeah, it's just amazing. So this is like a lot. There's a lot going into this. So there's like this aspect with like obsession and beauty and skincare and the media, and then you also have like this underlying like story of like retelling of Snow White apparently, and it just sounds so good, so compelling. It's so Mona Awad coded, which makes sense because it's written by her. And yeah, apparently a lot of people say that they compare this a lot to like The Love Witch, which I still have to watch that movie. Can you believe that? I know I really do live under a rock sometimes. But the most exciting thing is I'm going to see Mona Awad live in Toronto, talk about her book, and like dreams come true, kids, okay? Dreams do come true, and you do get to meet your literary heroes. So I am so excited. I really can't wait. I still have to read this. I'm gonna read this like right after I finish this video because I just want to binge it and like reread it and love it and obsess over it, and like, oh, just can't wait to meet her. And finally we have the last book here. So it's called Ghostwritten by David Mitchell. I don't really think it has a lot of fall vibes, but the reason why I want to read this book is that it's the closest book that resembles the book that I'm currently editing. So I wrote a book about 3 years ago, finished it like last year or this year, beginning of this year, end of last year, I don't know. and I still need to like finish like the last 2 or 3 chapters and edit the whole thing and probably rewrite the whole thing. So I want something to get me going, and I think I might like space this one out in the next 1-2 months. So yeah, I just want to see how David Mitchell did it. I want to see if my story holds up, makes sense. It's not the same thing, but the reason why I like this story is that it's basically apocalyptic, and it has like story, like, you know, those type of stories that involves a large cast of character and somehow they all connect. That's the type of story this is. So there's not much of a summary here, but that's the gist of it. And I heard Emmy from Emmy Reed's channel rave about this book a long time ago, so I thought to myself, why not pick it up, because it sounds very similar. Although my book is not really apocalyptic, but it's very similar in certain aspects of the premise. So that's why I'm picking this one up. That was it. We made it. This stack is really delusional as hell, but let's count how many books we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I read one of those. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 books. I guess it's not the right time to say that I actually can't count, but yeah, I think I got it right. I think. So 16 books. Can you believe it? I can, because I am Delulu. It's the only way to live life. So I really can't wait to read all of these books. I really feel like fall is my best season for reading, so I'm sure I'm going to be able to read these books, or at least most of them. But yeah, there are some books that I want to read more heavily than others, obviously Rouge being one of them. But yeah, that's it. That's the September TBR, posted mid-September, because that's how I roll. Okay, 2 weeks can be a lot of time, not for me though, but for my delusions. Okay, so let me know if you read any of these books. They're all going to be linked down below. Let me know if you are reading other books in September. Like, what are you reading? What are you interested in? Because I would love to know. I never should film videos in the nighttime because I just become delirious, and I always learn that every time I film something in the nighttime. But great content. Like and subscribe. I never say like and subscribe, but yeah, like and subscribe. Maybe I should say like and subscribe. Maybe y'all will like and subscribe and read more books with me and write more books with me and be delusional with me. What am I saying? I'm gonna get off my throne of books right now. But yeah, I hope you guys are ready for the fall TBR, because girl, I don't know where my mind goes. I don't know where I think I'm gonna get the time, because fall is the busiest season too. So we just have to wait and see. I love you guys so much. Hope you're reading some great books in the fall time. Let me know. Let's discuss down below. And I'll see you on the next bookish video. Bye!